Whoa, today we're definitely going to be taking a trip back in time with this kit. This kit is the Master Grade Gundam GP01. Of course, that is from the awesome anime Stardust Memory. And this is from 1997. To think that you could have been building this kit brand new while playing Final Fantasy VII on the PS1 when it released, that is nuts. This kit came out 2 years after Master Grade actually came into existence, which was in 1995. There's a lot going on in here. We've got a core fighter, core Brock, ducking action, shield action, marking, hands, weapons, shield, knee covers, feet, backpack, a head, the cockpit hatch opens, and there's the rear and the front view, which has most definitely been painted. But yeah, that's enough about this kit. Wait a minute. There's something else inside here. Sounds like it might be a sponsorship. This video was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Everyone knows Raid Shadow Legends by now, but did you know it's Raid's 2nd anniversary? That's right, it's been 2 years since Raid burst onto the scene and completely took over mobile gaming. And since then, Raid's only gotten bigger and only gotten better. It has been 2 years since Raid launched, and Raid started out as just a bunch of cool characters and an idea. Then, Raid blew up. It's the #1 RPG in the US, over 1 million players play every day with over 2 billion battles and a massive community of players. Raid wants to thank all of its awesome players for the songs in the competitions, the good times, and the content creators helping the player community. Come join Raid for a 3rd year of battles, mayhem, and fun. Like I've said so many times before, for me, Raid is a perfect game to sit down and build some gunpla with. Because literally, the game plays itself. Just hit auto, 2x speed, and grind your way through the campaign. This month is Raid's 2nd year anniversary, and they've got 6 straight weeks of anniversary events and tournaments running from March 1st all the way through to the middle of April. They're even launching their first ever clan versus clan tournament, and also releasing the first champion in the badass looking Shadowkin faction. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan the QR code you're seeing right now, and you'll get your free epic champion, Jotun, 100k silver, and the 3 ancient shards so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. Just look at this cool champion you'll get for free. You'll find all your extra rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Once again, link down there in the description. So anyway, jumping right on into this review with the overview, and here is absolutely everything that comes in the box with the Master Grade GP01. So we're going to come back to all of this later. For now, we're going to check out the GP01 itself. So anyway, jumping right on into the aesthetics, and here is the Master Grade Gundam GP01 out of the box, snapped together, and I have to say, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. That by no means means it's up to modern standards, but for 1997, this is impressive. So as for this build right here, for the most part it is just straight built, besides the fact that I've done a little bit of black panel lining on the head there, using a standard black Gundam panel lining marker. Next up I did add 2 of the rub-on style dry decals up on the shoulders, that is all. This one right here, well, it kind of makes me want to do one of 2 things. One is to get rid of the T and be like, Macross, and of course the other side of me wants to write a C before it, but hey, it looks perfect exactly the way it is, so that's the way I'm going to leave it. As for the other mod I did to this, which is very simple as well, one of you guys mentioned this to me in the comments once before, and it's something I never knew you could do, and that is this right here. So the clear parts on this kit, like the ones that are in the shoulders there, as well as up on that head camera, these all come in a colorless clear, which is great if you want to customize your kit and make the head cameras, the chest, sensor segments up there, and all of that, whatever color you want to match your build. Usually with these reviews, I just use the stickers that are included in the kit, so the review is mainly just what you get in the box. But as you can see, I guess back in 1997, they never give those foils for the head camera and other cameras around the kit. But yeah, in a video not so long ago, one of you guys actually mentioned that you can use a Sharpie to color in clear parts, and they'll still stay, well, clear, just in the right color. So whoever said that, I did answer you back, so you know who you are. I did not screenshot it, I meant to, so I've forgotten who exactly said it, but thank you so much. This works so well. If you give it enough time to dry, you can even touch the parts without it wiping off. This is so effective. It looks really good. I've tried it a few times now with a bunch of different kits. I used green on this kit for the head cameras, cameras on the shoulder, the big old clear section around back, and I even used it on the beam rifle for the red. Every color of Sharpie I've used so far works so well, so if you've never tried this out, I highly recommend that you do. I might make a video about it sometime in the future, but hey, don't hold me to that. I'll probably forget. So anyway, jumping right into that full 360-degree spin, I'll also pop up the original art of the Gundam GP01 Zephyranthes, just so you can see exactly what it should like and what we're getting. So the biggest issue with this kit is color separation, because physically, it looks quite good. Everything is where it should be. It's actually aesthetically a very nice kit, besides the fact that it's mainly block colors. You've got block white with no color detail, you've got block blue with no color detail, you've got block gray with no color detail, etc, etc. For example, if I pop it up side by side with the real grade Zephyranthes, which came out in 2013, hard to believe that thing's been out for 8 years now, blows my mind every time, but you can see this is rocking so much more detail, better proportions, and everything into a smaller package than what we're getting with this kit. Once again, 1997 needs an update pretty bad, but hey, if you do paint it, it will fit in with your master grades very, very well. So there are a couple of interesting aspects about this particular master grade. First off, that V-fin right there, and the little antenna behind it, these are rubber. So they're outright rubberized. There's two versions in here. We'll talk about those in a bit, but this one, it's rubber. This is also the first ever master grade kit to have a full inner frame in its legs. Only its legs. And as for what's going on in the torso, I'm leaving that till last. But as for the stickers, we've got a bunch of color correcting stickers because there's next to no, actually I think there's 0 yellow plastic in this kit. We've got some of those rub-on dry transfers. I love these. They're just so simple, pop them on, rub away, then they're on. And finally we've got a bunch of sticker style decals, which is something you do not see in master grades nowadays. But yeah, for me, aesthetically, this kit is extremely sterile and doesn't kind of sum up the awesomeness of the GP01 at all. So I'm definitely hoping sometime in the near future we will get a Master Grade 2.0 of this kit with that awesome full armor. That I want. I need that. Bandai, make it happen. Make it happen. Just like with the Alex, make it happen. So there is one thing I need to mention about the build of this kit. It's the manual. So there's good things and bad things about this, and I'm gonna start with the bad things. Well, it's a little bit of a mess, especially if you cannot read Japanese, because if you can see, over here we've got markings for left and right leg, or should I say just left and right when it comes to parts, and you're building both legs pretty much at the same time. So for example, up here we've got Migi Momo, which is basically right thigh, so if you can't read that, you're a little bit screwed, unless I guess you go online or, well, just kind of brute force it. However, the good aspect is these absolutely beautiful, old-school, technical illustrations of the design of the mobile suit. This is fantastic. Once again, this is something I would love to come back, especially if it was fully translated, so you could read it all and get into the actual design of the mobile suit while you build it. That, once again, I would love to see again. As for this style of instruction, not so much. So anyway, jumping right back to the accessories we took a look at the beginning, and we're going to take a look at these now, one by one. So first off, when it comes to the hands, we've got these. Look at these right here. These, in my opinion, are the single worst gunpla hands around. These absolutely suck. These are a thumb up top which can move around on a ball joint, kind of like we see with some of the later ball jointed moving fingers on some kits. Also, just like those, the index finger is separate to the rest of the fingers, so that means it has a moving trigger finger and 3 fingers that are attached together which can also move. These cannot hold weapons. I don't care what anybody says. These cannot ever hold a weapon. Just gonna pop the beam rifle in here. These are exactly the same as on the Master Grade EZ8, by the way, and probably a whole bunch of other kits, but no, there is nothing, ain't nothing happening. Might look like it's holding it, it's not at all. Terrible! These right here, these are the alternate hands we have in here, so 2 of each, or should I say 2 of both. As for what we've got in here, we've got a pair of fists. These are quite basic, but they do the job. Same goes for the other pair of hands we have in here, which are a pair of, I wouldn't say widespread open hands, more like open, relaxed style manipulator hands. As for swapping these out, it's very simple. Just ball joint attachment, pop them off, pop them on. Be careful not to lose that wrist armor because that is only held on by the hands themselves. Next up then, here we've got a pair of beam sabers. These are your standard situation right here. These pop into those absolutely abysmal hands, and for the most part, if you don't do too much, they will hold on in there. But if you even wiggle it at all, they're going to slip like this, and hey, that is a catastrophic failure. You do not want that to happen. That's gonna That's not going to be good for the hands in your mobile suit. Well, either that or you've got yourself one badass mobile suit. All the Zakus will be like, oh, shit, man. I'm gonna fuck with him. Straight up holding a beam saber. Nope. I'm out of here. Bye. Something like that. But yeah, in all honesty, the hands in here, they could definitely be better. So next up in here, we've got the shield. Once again, quite plain. It is in matching colors to the mobile suit itself, which is blue and white. Around on the back, we do have some parts in gray. The attachment section is, well, that is very, very basic. Definitely. We do have 2 extra E-packs here, which you can switch on and off the shield. You can pop them onto the beam rifle, which is pretty cool. We'll take a look at that in about 3 seconds. The shield also has this bit of a kind of bending gimmick that I have no idea what it's for because it doesn't really do much, maybe to shorten the shield. But besides that, it just locks into place like so, and well, that's it. As for attaching that shield, it just pops into the hole on the back of the arm like so, in that standard gunpla kind of way. We can also slip the hand through the handle on the other side. You can use this hand I'm using right here, or the holding hand, either or, because this kind of just holds on from the tight fit of the hand in the handle. On the whole, this whole setup is not going to be falling off anytime soon. It's quite tight. But I will mention, because it is just attached around to the back of the arm like so, it does mean posing is quite limited to, well, what you can get from a shield on the side of the arm. There's no way to move it around, there's no way to mount it on the side of the arm, so once again, limited. Next up then, here we've got that beam rifle. We've seen this a couple of times already. Once again, that side section does not come in red, it comes in just clear. That was just hit with a red Sharpie. Detail-wise, this isn't so bad. It is in that kind of old-school shiny plastic, but still, pretty cool. The handle up front here that can move side to side just like so, and right there in the front we can see that part that the jut would come out of, but sadly none in here, even though it seems pretty much equipped for one. That's a little bit of a disappointment. But yeah, not as much as a disappointment as that hold right there. That isn't the greatest. I pretty much recommend gluing this into the hand permanently if you want this to stay. As for attaching the weapons when they're not in use, as far as I know, you can't do anything with the beam rifle. But as for the beam sabers, it's the usual classic Gundam way of popping the beams out of the handles and the handles up onto the backpack, just like this. There's a couple of extra features in this box which I think really is a sign of the times when this came out. That is some colorless, customizable parts. For example, we've got an extra V-fin in here, which is not rubber. This is actual proper plastic like the rest of the kit. So if you want to make your own custom color, you can use this. And the same goes for these extra parts in here. I've never seen something like this in a gunpla kit before. These are glue-on detailing parts, detail-up parts even. So what we've got is what looks like some kind of mounting points as well as some kind of handles. This is pretty cool. This is something I'd love to see brought back for these kits. Even if it's just little bits of armor plates or hatches or flaps or something like that. That would be pretty cool. For any of the extra parts where they're just trying to fill up some space on the runner, I would love to see that again. So now moving right on into the build and the articulation, I have to say build-wise, this is pretty much spongy and horrible. Again, the aesthetics are the best aspect of this kit, but the feel is just not cool. But considering the tech back then, you can't really fault it. So let's check out what it can do. So there's just the head as it is. There it is looking all the way up, looking all the way down, no joke. Side, middle, to the other side. As for the shoulders on this, I might as well just take this off so you can see. Come on. Woohoo. It is just a peg coming from the torso, so there is no movement up there. So what we've got is the full 360 spin right here. There it is, raising its arm. That's it. Whoa. Even I'm shocked by that. Wow. There's even a ball joint in its upper arm. Man, some odd decisions were made. I guess this was part of the evolution. So therein is part of the culprit as to why this feels so spongy and loose. But anyway, we do get the full 360 there. We have an impressive double jointed elbow, pretty basic ball joint wrist. We've got a fully opening cockpit, and we do have a pilot figure in there, but it's cast in grey, not the white like we usually get. As for that waist rotation, it's just there to there, not a lot at all. Front skirting can flip up, side skirting only up and down ever so slightly. What do you know, we've got a double premium butt flap. Old school ball joint hips, combined with a solid upper leg, means the posing options here are very limited as the leg can't really twist that much. As for the kicks, there it is all the way up to the front, very loose. All the way out to the back, best attempt at the splits. Next up then, there is the bend at the knees, so about 90 degrees. Ankle armor can pivot ever so slightly. There's the foot all the way extended, all the way flexed. And wait till you see this. I have never seen anything like this before. Both the toes and the heel are held on by ball joints. That is trippy. As for what that does, well, honestly, not a whole lot. Honestly, these master grades, back then they were made for looking nice, not posing nice. But hey, at least it still looks pretty alright. So the last thing to mention about this kit, and definitely impressive for 1997, is a fully transformable core fighter inside of the actual mobile suit itself. So to get this out, it's simple, just flip up the cockpit hatch, flip up the backpack, the whole upper body detaches like this, the core fighter block segment pulls out like so, and this does feature a full transformation with part swapping. Some parts can be a little bit delicate, some parts can be a bit spongy, and some parts can be just hard to get out, but once you do transform it, this is really cool looking. I love the design of this particular core fighter. As for any sort of extras we have in here for using with this, we do have the landing gears which just attach in like so, and that is what it looks like on the ground. Once again, hugely impressive for 1997. So anyway, that right there is it for the review, and what can I say? This is a kit from a long time ago, 24 years ago now? Again, to imagine you could have been playing a game like Final Fantasy VII brand new when this came out really puts it into perspective just how old this kit is, and for that alone, this is quite an impressive kit. But by today's standards, of course, there is a lot to be desired. So once again, with an older kit like this, I only really recommend it if you really want to see what Gunpla used to be like, where it evolved from, and how spoiled we are today by the standard of model kit that Bandai puts out. But yeah, I know you guys like me to put a ranking on things, so if this was something that came out this year, which of course it isn't, it would be brown tier. It really doesn't have a whole lot going for it. If you take any of the aspects I rank a kit on, it doesn't tick any of the boxes. Aesthetically, it doesn't really have the magic of the GP01. It only kind of vaguely resembles it. The plastic is pretty bad, color separation, parts separation bad, mold line, seam lines bad. When we move on to the accessories, there's next to really nothing in here, and all of them, well, are basic or blow. And when it comes to the articulation on this thing, once again, there's not really much point in it having the articulation that it has, because this only really looks good just standing there. So if you want something for on your shelf that you're going to paint up and put that little bit of extra effort in, it will look good. But by Amuro, I really hope they make a 2.0 of this kit with the Chobam armor so we can have this right here. But either way, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I'll be seeing you next time.